Okay, you've made it to the third trimester. You're in the home stretch now. What can you expect? Well, several things. And there's a few surprises in here too that I'll tell you all about. Now, mom is going to start getting fatigued again. Similar to the first trimester, she's going to get tired. And no matter how much sleep she gets, it's not going to help. It's not going to be as bad as the first trimester, but it's going to be about 75% of what it was, of what you saw then. But more importantly, she's going to get tired just from physical activity. And this is a pure physics lesson. She's carrying around at least 20, 30, maybe even 40 more pounds than normal because of baby and everything that goes along with making the baby. So physical activity is going to exhaust her like nothing else. And keep in mind too, she's supplying blood and oxygenating for two people as well. So don't be surprised if you're just at the house and she walks up the stairs, or you go for a walk around the neighborhood and after a block or two, she's tapping out. She's finished, like, peace out, done. That's going to happen and it's perfectly normal. The best thing you can do is just roll with it. Try to make her comfortable. Don't try to push. Don't tell her to keep going or, oh, just a little bit farther, you got this. That's not going to help. She wants to, she really does, but she just physically can't. So here, really the best thing to do is just tap into your patience and be understanding and just stand back and observe her, watch her, just see how she does. She doesn't want to be on the couch or in bed all day long. Trust me, that's not the goal at all. She would love to be up and moving as much as she usually is, but again, the laws of physics and gravity say, no, you're going to lie down. Now, going along with this increased mass effect, the size of the baby is going to have a profound effect in what you see during the third trimester. This baby's running out of real estate. It's big. It's getting ready to be done. So what that means is there's going to be times when you will see the baby kicking in mom's stomach. You don't have to feel it. You'll see a little foot punch, 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 and that's normal. But what you may not expect, and this was kind of a surprise to me, is that the baby may kick mom in areas that are sensitive or sore. Like, for example, when we were halfway through the third trimester, baby kicked the inside of the ribs on the right side, and those ribs stayed sore in mama, and they hurt until after she delivered. So be ready for soreness, and be ready for mom to say, oh, the kid's kicking me there again, or why can't it just rotate and not be in this one spot? She may try to adjust herself and get more comfortable, and that's fine. Let her do it. I hope it works. Sometimes it will, sometimes it won't, and that's okay. Now keep in mind that as the baby grows, it's inside of mom's abdominal muscles. And the bigger it gets, the more stretched and distended and out of alignment her stomach muscles get. And that makes it really hard for her to do things like get up off the couch or do a sit-up in bed. In fact, towards the end of the third trimester, mom's not going to be doing any sort of sitting up. She's going to be rolling over onto her side or onto her hands and pushing herself up that way. It's just pure anatomy. Her stomach muscles can't contract anymore to pull her forward. Be ready for that as well. And if she says, hey, I need a hand getting off the couch, she means it. Offer her some help. Don't just stand there and go, what? That's not a good idea. Oh, and rewinding for a minute, back to that part where baby's getting bigger inside of mama. Every now and then, you may see her jump or laugh or giggle for no reason. And that's because the kid is tickling her from the inside. So if she's sitting there and all of a sudden she just busts out and says something, you'll have an idea why that is. Now, from a baby care point of view, expect to have more frequent OB visits. You're going to get to a point where you're having at least one OB visit a week up until the point of delivery. And that is good. You want your doctor to keep on top of things, keep checking out mama and making sure everything's all right. So because the OB says, okay, now I want you to come in every week, it doesn't mean anything's wrong. It's part of preventative screening. So just be ready for that. And on the home front, in those final weeks of the third trimester, don't be surprised if one day she wakes up, looks down, and says, oh my God, what happened to my feet? It feels like there's little water bags on top of my feet every time I take a step and they're shaking. Yeah, that's swelling. That's perfectly normal. Here, you may want to go out and get some compression socks, some compression leggings, whatever she needs. That will help. So expect her to retain a lot of fluid all the way up through delivery, which is perfectly common, happens in the healthiest of pregnancies, but it's going to make her super uncomfortable. And she's not gonna like the way she looks. She's gonna be very self-conscious about it. Try not to bring it up too much. So really just take a back seat and observe what's going on, but don't call it out too much. That's not gonna help her out. Don't say, hey, look at the size of your legs today. Wow. No, again, that's a bad idea. Now, on the intimacy front, the sex drive is going to die down from where it was in the second trimester, but it's not going to be as bad as the first trimester where there was that multi-week drought. There'll be some times when mom's feeling frisky, but the mass effect and the size of the baby may exhaust her, may make her feel not in the mood spontaneously. That's okay. Just roll with it. Be able to adapt at the last minute. Be able to change your mind. Don't take it personally if all of a sudden things like, just cool off in a hurry. It's part of pregnancy. There are no set schedules. Nothing happens on a timeline, and everything is subject to change or TBD at a moment's notice. It really is. And here, especially in the last few weeks, just keep in mind that intercourse can cause labor. There's a chance that if you guys are going at it, that mom may go into an early labor. It's been known to happen. That's fine. Just take her to the hospital if that's the case. But just have that in the back of your mind. And remember that in case you don't want to have any early surprises. Now, for me, the biggest surprise in the third trimester, and this is going to seem like such a little thing, but it has a huge impact on quality of life for both of you, is that mom is always going to run hot. You can be inside in a dark room that's 45, 50 degrees, and she's going to feel warm. You can have the temperature set at 10 degrees below normal from where you guys usually run, and she'll ask you to turn on the air conditioning or make it colder. And that's because she's got a tiny little 6 to 10 pound nuclear furnace inside of her that's keeping her warm. It's really like having a pre-made space heater inside of you that just heats everything up. Now, after delivery, that will taper off. She won't need it at minus 30 degrees Fahrenheit with a strong southerly wind. But it will take time. It'll take time for her to restore that equilibrium. But just don't be surprised by how hot and how warm that kid makes her feel. And no matter what you do, it's going to be too hot at all times. So here, expect that. Dress more warmly yourself because you're going to have to keep the house cold. You're going to have to keep some windows open, whatever it takes to cool her down. So have your sweater ready, have your socks on. And maybe, you're going to sleep with more clothes on than you normally do. So when that happened to me, I was really caught off guard. And it took me a little while to respond and to realize that, hey, yes, this is serious and the house does need to be cooler. That's the only solution. Don't say, oh, just go outside for a little bit or just take a cold shower. No, that's not right. You got to drop the temperature. It's going to keep mom happy. It's going to keep the baby healthier, and it's going to make things better for everyone. Then the final thing to expect in the third trimester is, yes, you will have a due date. You'll know when to expect the baby, but when you get down to T-4 weeks, T-3 weeks until that due date, you will constantly be on edge, wondering if that's the baby arriving, if mom coughs wrong, or she makes a sound when she's getting up, or if you haven't heard from her, via text or phone for a little bit. You're going to wonder. It's going to be in the back of your mind all the time, every day, if it's go time. So be ready for that. And the best thing to do here is just enjoy it. The baby will come when the baby's meant to come. And have a go bag ready. So when that moment does arrive, you can pick up your cell charger, a change of clothes, a comfortable pillow, earplugs, and an eye mask to go to the hospital and spend time there with mom. Be packed up ahead of time and be ready to grab that and head out the door at a moment's notice. If you make it to term, that's great. But if not, that's fine too. Well, congratulations on getting through pregnancy. This third trimester is definitely the most visually striking in terms of change and size and everything. But you did it. You got through all 3 trimesters, and next is delivery. And I'll be talking about that in one of my upcoming videos, as well as the first few weeks of raising a newborn. So please hit like and subscribe if you want to hear what to expect when that happens.